The McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom II is one of the most famous and successful U.S. aircraft of all time. It appeared in all Vietnam battlefields, followed by the Desert Shield and Desert Storm campaigns that the U.S. and Allies conducted in Kuwait and Iraq. Referring to the Phantom II, people will think of its extremely important role in the noisy American campaigns. In Vietnam, after the war, the Vietnamese gained a lot of spoils, which were U.S.-equipped fighters for the Republic of Vietnam Air Force, such as the F-5E Tiger II, A-37 Dragonfly, or UH-1 Huey. However, none of these gains resulted in obtaining American F-4 Phantom IIs. The F-4 Phantoms are considered the main rival of the MiG-21, the Silver Swallow of the North Vietnamese. Although it was brought into Vietnam late, it proved to be a terrifying opponent for any enemy. Because of the preeminent features of the Phantom II, the Americans decided not to provide the F-4 to the Republic of Vietnam. At the time, the risk of a coup was always lurking, and there was risk that the Saigon regime would betray and then use F-4 against the Americans. The F-4 Phantom II is an all-weather, supersonic, tandem two-seat, twin-engine aircraft designed and built by McDonnell Douglas for the United States Navy. The F-4 was originally designed as a fighter jet to protect the U.S. Navy fleets, but by 1963, the F-4 Phantom II was converted to use as a long-range supersonic jet interceptor and fighter bomber. The origin of the McDonnell F-4 was initiated by the Navy request in 1953 for an upgraded version of the carrier-based McDonnell F-3H Demon fighter. To present its new fighter, the U.S. Navy made a series of record-breaking flights in the early stages of development of the Phantom II. At Operation Top Flight, on December 6, 1996, the second XF-4H-1 prototype made a 30,040-meter high flight, breaking a world record. At Operation Skyburner, which took place on December 22, 1961, an improved Phantom with water injections set an absolute world record for speed at 2,585 kilometers an hour. In addition, the F-4 set many other world records with a total of 16. The Phantom II was officially introduced in December 1960. At the time, the F-4 was considered a revolutionary design. It has monumental dimensions with an empty weight of 13.7 tons, while a maximum takeoff weight is up to 28 tons. The fighter-bomber has a length of 19.2 meters, a wingspan of 11.7 meters, and a height of 5 meters. Phantom II features classic and refined lines, a perfect blend of smooth and sharp lines. The tandem seat cockpit is located behind an elongated nose fitted with an advanced pulse Doppler radar. The front cockpit is for the pilot, while the rear is for the system operator. Wings were highly swept, low-wing monoplanes positioned in the mid-portion of the fuselage. Each main wing is cranked up slightly at the ends. The titanium material is widely used in the F-4 airframe. The fuselage is quite plump, streamlined. Each side arranges an air intake just below the cockpit and extends to the engine and exhaust at the rear. The rather special tail cluster is placed above the engine exhaust, including a vertical tail fin like traditional designs, but the horizontal planes are bent downward. For a dozen tons of iron to fly at supersonic speed, the manufacturer equipped it with two General Electric J79 GE17A afterburning turbojet engines, delivering 52.96 kilonewtons of dry thrust each and up to 79.38 kilonewtons of afterburning thrust. In combat, the Phantom's greatest advantage was its thrust, which permitted a skilled pilot to engage and disengage from the flight at will. The F-4 can reach a maximum speed of 2,370 kilometers an hour, equivalent to Mach 2.23, leaving behind a trail of fire up to 4 meters long. The F-4's 9 external hardpoints have the capability to hold up to 8.4 tons of weapons. including air-to-air and air-to-surface missiles, and unguided, guided, and thermonuclear weapons. Like other interceptors of his time, the F-4 Phantom II was initially designed without an internal cannon, but the fierce reality in the Battle of Vietnam forced Americans to change their military doctrine. The lack of cannon was finally addressed by adding an internal mounted 20mm M61A1 Vulcan to the later models. Produced in 1958, a total of 5,195 F-4s were delivered. Until 1981, production lines were stopped. It is the most produced American supersonic military aircraft of all time. During operation, the Phantom II demonstrated its high adaptability, which became as famous as the North Vietnamese Air Force's MiG-21 confrontations. It served as the principal air superiority fighter of the United States Air Force, Navy, and Marine Corps, and became important in the ground attack and aerial reconnaissance roles late in the war. The F-4 continued to form the majority of the United States military air power throughout the 1970s and 1980s, being gradually replaced by more modern aircraft such as the F-15 Eagle and F-16 Fighting Falcon in the United States Air Force, the F-14 Tomcat in the U.S. Navy, and the F/A-18 Hornet and Super Hornet in the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps. Not just trusted by the U.S. Marines and the U.S. Air Force, the F-4 Phantom was quickly exported to other countries. Israeli Phantoms saw extensive combat in several Arab-Israel conflicts, while Iran used a large fleet of Phantoms acquired before the fall of the Shah in the Iran-Iraq War. As in 2020, 62 years after its first flight, the F-4 remains in service with Iran, Japan, South Korea, Greece, and Turkey. The aircraft has most recently been seen in service against the Islamic State group in the Middle East. Returning to the story at the beginning, the Republic of Vietnam Air Force had asked the United States to provide F-4 Phantom IIs in 1972. At the time, under the Paris Agreement, the U.S. Air Force's units were forced to withdraw, which opened the opportunity to own the Phantom II for the Saigon government. However, in the end, no F-4s remained. Although the F-4 Phantom II was a very formidable weapon, if the United States meets the aspirations of the Saigon government, it's unlikely that they will be fully effective. The reason is that the heavy fighter like the F-4 requires a lot more complicated and time-consuming preparation steps than those required for the F-5E. Most of the aircraft were not in a state of readiness to fight, which mimicked the general conditions of the Republic of Vietnam Air Force at the time. In addition, there is a high possibility that there will be some Phantom II on the North Vietnamese booty list because they could not flee. The Americans did not want the North Vietnamese Air Force to be supplemented by such a powerful type of fighter.
My video of F-4 Phantom II ends here. Thank you for watching. If you find this video interesting, please give me your thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to support the channel. Goodbye and see you again in the next videos.